Jane and her husband had only been married a few months, still basking in the glow of their honeymoon phase, where everything was supposed to be perfect. Their cozy home was just starting to feel like theirs, and every day felt like a fresh adventure. But one evening, her husband came home with a suggestion that would shake the foundations of their new life. His voice was hesitant but firm. "Jane, I've been thinking. My mother's health is getting worse. She's sick, and it's not safe for her to live alone anymore. I think we should bring her to stay with us." Jane froze, her smile fading. She loved her husband deeply, but this wasn't what she had signed up for. "Bring your mother here." "But we've only just started our life together. We're still getting used to each other. How can we invite someone else to live with us?" The tension grew thick in the room. Her husband was silent, clearly torn between his love for his mother and his loyalty to his wife. Jane couldn't let it go. She felt that their marriage was too new, too fragile, to withstand the stress of caring for a sick, elderly woman. So she turned to the one person she always relied on for advice, her best friend, the one she always gossiped with about family issues. Jane poured out her frustration, expecting support, expecting her friend to side with her. But to her surprise, the response was different this time. Her friend opened her Bible and read Exodus 20 verses 12. "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee." Jane had never thought of her mother-in-law as her own mother. But in that moment, she realized that the woman her husband loved and cared for was part of her family now too. God's commandment didn't just apply to her own parents, but to her husband's mother as well. And suddenly, it hit her. Taking care of his mother wasn't a burden. It was a blessing. Tears filled her eyes. She had let her own fears and insecurities get in the way of doing what was right. Jane knelt by the table, the Bible open in front of her. She prayed, asking God for forgiveness and guidance. When her husband came home later that evening, he was shocked to find Jane sitting with tears streaming down her face, the Bible open on the table. She looked up at him, her voice trembling. "God spoke to me today. I was wrong. We should take your mother in. Our marriage will be blessed if we do this together." Her husband stood frozen, overwhelmed by her transformation. In that moment, he saw the power of God's word working in their marriage. As they embraced, Jane knew that their love had deepened. Together, they were ready to bring his mother into their home, knowing that by honoring her, they were honoring God's will for their lives. Taking care of parents isn't a burden, it's a blessing. If you were in Jane's shoes, what would you have done? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for more videos, like and share.